where an opposing team hit 3 home runs in the first inning. So shout out to the Red Sox. They were not doing well.
Can I just tell you?
Not doing well.
I like
at all.
Trout, so I like that we got this in there.
Yeah.
Do you think we maybe are a little overserved on Red Sox data and facts and highlights on this show?
I feel like a local Boston show
Thank you, bro.
sometimes.
We'll name the 3 most.
It's wonderful.
Name the 3 biggest teams in baseball.
Yankees, Mets, Dodgers.
No, not the Mets.
Well, I don't know. Spend a lot of money.
They spend a lot of money. They spend a lot of money.
Okay,
on
well,
shirts.
We see more Red Sox highlights than Yankees.
The Red
Correct.
Sox are the 3rd.
Or
Okay,
low
that's
lights,
fine. That's fine.
whatever
Let's
you
just,
want.
but we do.
Yeah,
see-
but
Okay, so we talk about
see more Yankees.
Cowboys, Chiefs. What do you want to talk about? The Bills?
How about
What's it
Buddy, I just
I'm
think
not
we have
gonna
a
say it.
touch
The
too
snakes.
much.
I think we haven't touched too much of Royals minor league
You
highlights.
put it in.
I did it to be nice.
Well,
The Royals.
that was major story. It was leading ESPN.com, major news website.
This is Mike Trout.
Yeah, Trout.
Modern day Mickey Mantle going against team of the century.
Trout, it's just, he's kind of like, it's like Embiid or Anthony Davis. He's just not healthy, unfortunately. He's only played 30-something games this year. Great, though, when he's healthy. But it's just unfortunate. No, I'm just keeping it real.
Wonderful Dodgers Mets battle between the 2nd and maybe 5th best franchises. Ohtani home run number 23, but the Mets win this one.
Oh.
And what?
I'm an idiot. I shouldn't have said Mets. Should have said Cubs, obviously.
Cubs would have been smart.
Yeah. Yankees, Dodgers, Cubs. That's the answer.
Cubs pretty good, but still probably Red Sox. And then finally, wonderful. Because we have to do a Kansas City thing every show.
Oh,
Here's Chris Jones. Bang! Just a little Chris Jones highlight, just to make you
I like
happy.
that.
Yeah, I know.
The CEO,
Look good.
our guy, poised for a big year. Thank you.
That's a weird and wonderful from the National Pastimes. Bruce Hart is saying, let's go, but his head is saying no. Brew, although you turned your back on your hometown.
You always couch it in a negative terms.
Oh, yes. Oh, I forgot. We had a SOT here.
From Chris Jones.
Naptown! 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 Naptown!
It was worth it, Wilds.
I guess so. Brew's keys to victory. Go Brew.
Well, obviously my heart is with the Pacers in Naptown. So I'm going to give them a few things that they could put into practice that could help them beat the Thunder. The analyst in me I was obligated to go with my head. Sure. And my head tells me OKC is the better team. But the fan in me, of course, is going for Naptown! All right, here we go. At number 1, the first thing they got to do, Nick, Tyrese Halliburton has to be a superstar. All right, and against the Thunder, he's not even been a star.
No, he's been bad. 2 games.
Barely been a starter.
Wow.
Like in his 4 games, last 2 years, because these 2 teams, these 2 teams both have made the playoffs 2 years.
Yeah.
So these 2 years they've been together essentially. 12 points a game. 8.5 assists, you'll take that. You know, the shooting numbers aren't bad. 3-point is down. But this year was even worse. This year, Nick, they went 0-2. Yep. Halliburton averaged 11 points and 5.5 assists. That point total or average, lowest against any team in the league. The assists were tied for the lowest against any team in the league. And he only attempted 9 shots a game. Now, what that tells me is he was passive. Yeah. And here's the deal.
It tells me he missed his first shot in those games. We know that's
He missed his first shot in Game 6. I was watching for that. First 3, I think.
Yep.
But the thing is this. Lou Dort makes opponents passive. We saw it with Anthony Edwards. Mm-hmm. It's not like when a guy, and then after Dort, it's Caruso and J-Dub, and like they just got guys that come at you in waves. And when Lou Dort, who's strong and tough, is guarding you like this, like really,
I know.
Like it just wears you down to many times you just kind of like get rid of the ball and let somebody else handle things. And so Halliburton cannot do that. They need him to not only be engaged, but he has got to play like the best basketball of his career if they're going to pull off this historic upset. So that's number one. At number two, protect the basketball.
Yes.
Now, this one seems obvious, but OKC led the league in steals. In the playoffs, they lead the league in steals. They are forcing 17 turnovers a game in the playoffs. That is almost 3 more than any other team in the league or has in these playoffs. And then, of course, we know what they do. We saw it against Minnesota. They turn those turnovers into fast break points. And that cannot happen against the Pacers. Now, the good news for the Pacers, they don't turn the ball over. 4th in the league in fewest turnovers during the regular season. As fast as they play, they still don't get sloppy and turn the ball over. So that plays into their hands, but they have to make sure they protect the basketball. Number 3, they have to exploit Oklahoma City's too big lineup with Chet Holmgren and Isaiah Hartenstein. And here's how they do it. You mentioned it earlier, Nick. Miles Turner. He is one of the best shooting centers in the league. 40% from 3 this playoffs, almost 40% in the regular season. Hartenstein don't want to get out there and guard Turner at the three-point line. So if Turner is hot from 3, they can force Hartenstein to the bench, and maybe even Chet too. Maybe they make OKC just go small. If that happens, then Indiana can rebound the basketball better. OKC is not a very good rebounding team. Neither is Indiana. But my point is, if they're rebounding, getting offensive rebounds, getting some buckets, that's easier to score than going against OKC's set defense.
No question.
So if you can get their bigs or at least one of them off the floor, you got a better chance on the board. That is the formula for Naptown to become Titletown.
So I like it. I think it is going to be almost impossible to execute, and even if they do, I think that still might not be enough. You know what I mean? Even if we look back and we're like, oh, Halliburton averaged 28 and 11. They didn't turn the ball over a bunch, and you forced Chet or Hartenstein off the court. I could still see Oklahoma City winning, and that is, I think, I'm obviously the gambler of the 3 of us, and I think because of that, and probably more of a gambler than a lot of the audience, I don't think people realize what a massive historical favorite Oklahoma City is. So they're minus 700. So that means, and Dust, if you can just pull up the graphics we were going to do at the very beginning of the show. I'll use them here in a second. Minus 700 means bet 700 to win $100. There have been 17 favorites in the finals in NBA history of minus 300 or longer. Those teams are 16-1 in the finals, just minus 300 or longer. And the one is obviously the Lakers losing to the Pistons in 2004. Those 16 other series, here's how they went. And this is why bet of the year, OKC minus a game and a half. Nobody even forced a game 7.
Wow.
3 were sweeps, 6 and 5, 7 and 6, 0 game 7, and then the one big upset. So then I looked back to how did the Pistons upset the Lakers? There was one injury-related thing, which is all of the Lakers forwards got hurt.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Karl Malone was banged up.
So that's why Karl Malone was banged up going into the series, and then ended up getting further injured in the series. But also, Rick Fox got hurt. Horace Grant, who came out of retirement to play for them, he got hurt. It was Slava Medvedenko who was starting for them by the end of that. So they just had a huge deficit there. They had a very old people. I think they remember, they're like, oh, Malone and Gary Payton on that Lakers team were just ring chasing. They were their 3rd and 4th leading scorers in the regular season. They averaged 14 and 15 a game in the regular season. In the finals, they averaged 4 and 5 each. And the other thing that happened is the Lakers' 2 best players one played a little below their standard, and one played well below his standard. Shaq in his 3 finals with the Lakers championships averaged 38 and 17, 33 and 16, 36 and 12, and then against the Pistons, 27 and 11, which is good but not great. And Kobe had a brutal series. Kobe was 22 a game on 38-17 splits. All of that had to happen. All of it. So like and that's the only massive upset in the history of the finals.
What was Mavs Heat?
So I thought you might ask that.
What's Rick Carlisle?
Because I think that's one
So
of the
the
biggest
Heat were
upsets.
only minus 175. The Heat were only slight favorites.
Really?
Yeah. Again,
Well, Dallas had a good run.
Right,
in the
because Dallas
playoffs.
had swept the Lakers, who were the two-time defending champs, and Dallas had just beaten OKC, I think.
Now,
in
OKC
5.
was young, but still, they had all that talent.
And so like that, so that wasn't
Harden.
like.
Do you think you didn't have like slow down SGA as one of your keys?
Yeah, I mean, I
saying
think
he's
he's
gonna do
going
his
to. Now, look, you can try to pack the paint and force them to shoot threes, but I mean, people have tried to do that to him, and it just.
Well, that's why I
you
brought.
just can't.
That's why
I kind of think that he's going to get his.
Carlisle, maybe a LeBron. You know, I know everyone says that just LeBron was in a funk, but does Rick Carlisle have some sort of plan?
I mean, Rick Carlisle will adjust on the fly. Big upsets there have only been 4 upsets in finals history of minus 200 or more. One is the Bullets and the Warriors in '75. The Warriors came back, and the other 2 involved the Warriors. Like the 2016 Warriors were minus 220 against the Cavs. LeBron goes crazy, and the 2019 Warriors were minus 270. But that was
injuries.
Right. I mean, Clay blows out his knee, and KD never plays. There's the only thing even close to a precedent for this is the 04 Finals. And that 04 Lakers team could not be more different than this Thunder team because they were so old and not that deep.
Since we're going to be off the next 2 days, do you have a Game 1 prediction? Pacers have won every Game 1 in this playoffs.
OKC by a lot.
I would think. I mean, OKC.
Pacers.
I love it. I love it.
Them